Do books provide more entertainment than television?
Doesn't that depend on the person?
Yes. That's my answer.
No. I would say no.
What's your opinion? No?
No, I don't think it does. Probably disagree.
I disagree. I say it does. Yeah.
Because you're a book reader?
Yeah.
I am not a book reader.
It's such a commitment. Like a movie you could do in a couple hours, long as like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. Books are such a commitment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read though reading books does because like it does do better for your imagination because like when you read it describes the whole thing and you can kind of put it in your mind and whenever you use your imagination you just tend to enjoy things more, I think. But I don't like reading. I struggle with reading comprehension, so that's part of the reason why. So I like to just watch.
Why do you think reading is better?
I don't know, but I like it. I can't sit down. I can, but it has to be like a really good movie, show, or whatever for me to actually like stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can read a book like all day long.
Growing up, was that
Yeah, I've always been a reader as far as I remember.
your mom or?
My mom is too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't work because you're not a reader.
Oh.
Well, you can. You do.
You can read.
Well, that's not what I meant. You
You're
can
not a
read.
reader.
My daughter's for sure not a reader.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to try to encourage them. Like they had to read before they allowed to do anything else. But
I like reading. I just like watching sports more. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm watching something, I do find myself like on my phone or doing other things while I'm watching something. So I'm like distracted. So it's like, am I really entertained by what I'm watching, or is it like, or am I just addicted to my phone? Who knows? But I don't know. You can't do that when you're reading. You're fully invested when you're reading. Like,
I wonder what like the split of people that would say like movies versus books.
The psychology behind it. That's why I'd be curious what makes me a reader and you not.
I feel like most would say movies, but
Is that just the world that we live in these days?
Yeah, see, I'd say
I
like
feel
30
that's
years
just what
ago.
it is.
30 years ago, I think most people would say books.
Yeah.
But now, as time goes on, there's less people reading, more people watching TV, or getting
I'm curious.
different forms of entertainment. The reading is kind of.
I'm curious if that's true, though.
That's my assessment of it. I don't know.
I'm curious if that is
So,
actually like if reader has gone down.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the only way you can track that is book sales. I would guess. I don't know. Or just get. There's other ways of, you can read articles on the internet, you can read magazines, you can read a ton of stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes I do wish I enjoyed reading because I hear all the time that like books are way more detailed and better. Like my favorite franchise is Jurassic Park, and I've heard that the books are nothing like the movies. And as a fan, I would like to actually be able to like enjoy like the differences and see details and stuff or whatever. But I gave it a go once. Couldn't do it. Gave the books to my wife.
On reverse of that, though,
Yeah.
sometimes the movies don't do the book justice.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There's a lot of that. You're just like, what? They change things. They have to change things. They don't work with the author, so they don't like the way it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that, but I think it's just like the commitment, right? And if you're going to have something that people will be willing to see, like I always say, kind of vanilla stuff up a lot, so people couldn't.
Yeah, more mainstream it a little bit.
Yeah. And
Did you
now,
find anything?
I found something about like over the last 10 years, like the numbers of books sold were going down, but like with the pandemic, like 2020 and 2021 saw a big uptick in book sales.
yeah, I bet like with the Kindle, the Amazon, like there's like the Kindle Unlimited. Holly, she does that and stuff like that. She reads nonstop. She reads more than she watches TV. So I can still see it being popular. Not for me though.
I also read multiple books at a time.
I can never do that either. I can think
So you have multiple drinks at a time, multiple books.
Listen, there's something. There's let's not get into my mental health issues. 'Cause that's what that is.
But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like watching TV and watching sports or whatever. I've never been a book reader, so that's my answer. I think it's more I feel like television provides more entertainment.
You know what I think? Like with young children now and reading and all this stuff, I think a lot of everything says like stuff is worse now than it was. Whatever. In some ways it is, but I think they do reading much better now, like my kids' generation, than ours. Because I remember having to read so many things that were just boring. It was like just read this, and it poisons you. And now they're much more like just read something. Whatever it is, read something. Find something you enjoy and read that. Versus like read this book that some 80-year-old white dude said was a great book, and now everybody has to read it to report something.
I do feel like that's where school went wrong back then.
They teach you in them. One way.
Yeah.
You had to do it this way.
Chore.
Yeah,
like
that's what it was.
Yeah.
And you can only do it this one way, and you were taught how to read one way, and it changed with like when I was younger. It changed. Now they teach a total different way.
Right. Yeah, it is
and
like
it's much better.
With me, like I will read something, but that does not mean that I'm actually taking anything. I can read the words, read it just fine, but that does not mean it's like going.
Yeah.
It's something I do. I can read it, but that doesn't mean like now if I'm interested in it, and I'm actually like then that's better.
And that goes back to what Tyler was saying. As long as you read something, doesn't matter. Read a magazine, read even like graphic novels. They say that just read.
Like Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, just read.
Except for that one other edition. It's not like reading that
one. Just read something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got it.
My goal is always Josh to see his reactions and stuff.
Yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts on books versus television?
I mean, I only watch TV for sports.
Yeah.
And then the rare series every month or two. But then
Sounds like you watch TV fairly often then. Compared to me, then I guess that'd be a lot. Because if you're watching a TV show a month, when I'm lucky to
I'm not
make
saying
one a
per
year,
month. I said like like this last year. Outside of the new Game of Thrones, I haven't watched anything. Not this year in particular. It's just happened.
And I feel like now today with Netflix and everything's a movie novel now.
Do you consider like Twitter or Reddit reading? Because
I thought about that too. Because I read sports stuff all day.
Yeah, I
I
consider that
I can
reading.
go down
Like
rabbit
articles and
holes.
such.
Yeah,
What's the difference of that? That's like
That's
reading
exactly.
a magazine.
Or like comment threads.
Yeah, it's like reading them.
Yeah.
So like might read more than I
Then you
watch
actually think you do.
sports. Well, I mean it's pretty close. But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just short articles, really.
You read all the time. You forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Reddit's a whole.
Yeah. This question was more pertaining
Like books.
to books,
Yeah.
actually books and stuff.
Oh, well.
But you read your manga stuff. That's
Yeah, I was
books.
gonna say,
Yeah.
if you count manga, then I'm reading
Oh, is that
along with all my series.
Yeah. And you could say, like, if you're reading books, you're probably also learning too, which is also
They say
good value.
on average, readers have better vocabulary, better spellers.
Probably. There's definitely there's some pluses on there.
I would believe that. It'd be hard to convince me that wasn't true. The people that read more tend to have better grammar and spelling.
Yeah, better imagination, better.
I don't know if they
Maybe.
Imagination, you think so?
Maybe.
You picture it in your head as you read it.
I think that's because that's like your brain. That's
I
like
feel like that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just reading.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, when you watch something, it's actually displayed in front of you. So when they show you a room, you actually see that room how it is. When you're reading something, you're taking that room and then you're thinking about it however you want.
Does it say something if the stuff I watch, I'll turn on subtitles for?
Yeah.
Or read a book while you watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Yeah.
I'll watch TV.
I guess. I'm not a book reader, so I stick with television, movies, and all that stuff. But it's not like I don't know that books has its benefit. I just don't want to read. So simple as
I think you either you are or you aren't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You enjoy it or you don't.
Yeah. But yeah, so I stick with movies and TV.
Same.
Movies, TV.
I'm a book reader, so
All right, you're alone on this one.
that's all right.
There we have it.